Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee, and this is Plan in Traffic, where we do this every Thursday night live on YouTube and Facebook. And we got the Pinstripe King in the house, Keith, and we got another Pinstripe King in the house, Keith as well. Keith Eccles and Skeeter. What up, fellas?
How's it going, guys?
Thanks for having us.
Oh, man, we appreciate you coming on. I wanted to show, I see all your work on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm a big truck fan, so I love how you pinstripe the semis. When you run down the whole side of a semi in one stroke, I'm like, man, I get excited and I go get my paintbrushes, and I can't do it. I just can't do it.
That's a whole art in itself right there. And when I see somebody pull a line, a whole car or the fender on a semi, which is the length of a whole car, it blows my mind. And I know, believe me, I know.
Well, my thoughts are, how does the paint don't run out? Because he'll run down the whole side and do a couple loops and twists, and the paint never runs out.
Well, that's all part of it. I mean, you got to. It's where I live. It's our temperature. Well, it's kind of like where you guys are. I mean, it can go from 100 degrees to 20 below, or 10 below, and so you gotta know how to like mix your paint for the temperature, like a little bit slower when it's cold. I mean, a little bit slower when it's hot, and you just got to dial that in, and you got to kind of do it by trial and error.
Right.
Otherwise, it's too sticky or too runny. And I don't know how I do it. Like everybody goes, because everyone's into measurements. It's 4-to-1 or whatever. They go, what's your measurement? And I says, I don't know. I stir it. Right, man.
When it feels right.
But yeah, those brushes are made to. You get enough paint in the belly of them, man. They'll go a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you located?
Go ahead.
Where are you located? I'm
in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Salt Lake City. So if anybody's in that area and you need some pinstripe done, Keith is your guy. Do you have a website?
Yeah. Just keithexhilarating.com.
Okay.
Here's what I did. So get this. So it's like, so I type in I got keithexhilarating.com and then just keithexhilarating.com. Well, it ends up that there's this dude in down in New Orleans, and his name is Keith Eccles.
Uh-oh.
His name is mine, and that's keithexhilarating.com. This guy is fantastic, man. I mean, he's got like a school down there, and he just does killer murals and art. Well, anyway, he ends up calling me because he's teaching a class, and one of the students in the class goes, "God, this semi you did is like amazing." And he, what semi? I don't do. And he showed me, and it was that's Keith Eccles did it. And then he goes, "Sure as shit, that's my name," like so. And the funny thing is we're like months apart in our age too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's fantastic. But now I've been getting some emails here recently, like, "Hey, when are your classes? Because I want to get my kids into it this summer." I go, "You got the wrong Keith Eccles."
Tell them to send the money.
What's the chances of that? You got to name both artists,
That's something else.
I mean, we talk. I can't wait to actually this winter I might cruise down there and check out his studio and stuff, hang out.
That'd be nice. So you got any big projects going on?
No, not right this second. I mean, I don't know what you consider big projects, but there's 3 Kenworths outside and a boat inside and 3 motorcycles right now.
That's pretty big.
But it's not like, SEMA big or, I mean, no big shows coming up.
Yeah.
Trying to get ready to, what I mean by that is just I'm being sponsored by a couple people, and I'm just going to start hitting some rallies, mostly down in Arizona, and over in Southern California. All the people I know over there, because it's really cold here. I mean, you guys know that you're in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to kind of get out of the cold. It's quite hard to do stuff here, as you guys know. When Kenworth pulls up outside, and it's got 2 feet of snow on it, and you got to brush it all off. Then you got to get it inside, get the metal warm, and you're spending about $600 in heat every month. Just the truck's got to sit inside and cure. So yeah, it's just twice as hard in the cold. But
Yeah.
I have super giant things coming down, other than normal. Normal.
Yeah.
Well, I've remembered why I hate painting, because I bought a trunk for my motorcycle and I decided to paint it this week. And I realized that I have to sand it and get the orange peel out and sand it some more. And I'm kind of sick of it already.
Yeah.
And I forgot.
Yeah.
I should have took it over to Keith's house, let him work on it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's like, I told you before the show started, I've been doing this 43 years now. And yeah, it sucks when when someone brings something in here and they want it to be painted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as long as I've been doing it, it's like no fun no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, Mr. Ray.
Finally made it. Thank you for sending the code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keith,
Browser issue tonight.
How you doing?
Ray from Motormouth Radio,
Nice.
the world famous syndicate radio station.
All right, thanks for having me, man.
Thank you for talking to me. Keith, how you doing, brother?
Me?
Oh, the
Another
other,
Keith.
the other
I'm
Keith.
doing good. Doing good.
Keeping busy, I see. Both of you guys busy, huh?
Yeah. With the regular job is busy, and I've actually got jobs lined up. So yeah,
Nice.
I'm happy.
Nice. That's good.
Okay, you guys
Excellent.
talk for a minute. I'm going to pull up some of Keith's work on the other side over here.
Okay. I got a question for you guys, both of you being pinstripers. I recently, about a year ago, finally had my car painted, and it's one color. And even in its stock form, back in '65, they did a little double pinstripe down the fender, the door to the quarter panel, very, very calm. And I think it's screaming for that again. I think it really needs that. And amazingly, so many people that I talk to, all the guys in the body shop, all say, no, leave it just the way it is, no pinstripe. I'm like, really? I don't know. Is it me or is it them? I don't get it.
It's them.
It's them.
Yeah, do what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and these are guys in the business and they know old cars too. So just boggles my mind.
Yeah, but everybody has their own flavor. You know what I mean? If you like that flavor.
And I like to keep it simple. If I put stripes on something, I don't like going crazy. I got the two separate colors, just something tiny, and I got a little something on the hood, and that's what I like. I don't like going crazy with 5 or 6 different colors.
Yeah, well,
now if it's a low rider, a tail dragger or something like that, it's calling for it. It just depends on the vehicle, I think.
I was gonna say when me and Lewis build like his lowriders, we'll go crazy with the with the striping. But until then, right.
I'm only doing the roof because it's too much stripes for me.
Yeah.
Lace up the roof.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out cheap.
Lace up the roof.
I did learn, because even though I'm not a painter, I have painted a couple of tanks and tins, and I've laid out all the flames myself. I can, I'm actually not too bad with fine line tape. I got an eye for flames, I guess. But I finally learned about like drastic contrast in colors, and how when you say it, it sounds so repulsively terrible. But when you see it, it looks so damn good. And
bring up a good point there because everybody thinks that us stripers, we got a bad reputation. We're all drunks, and they'll do it for a bag of weed or whatever, and it's like it's not true. What it is you have to understand art. You have to understand hues. You have to understand tones. You have to understand complementary colors. Somebody brings an orange vehicle or a bike in here, and I'm going to throw green, and I'm going to throw purple, and I'm going to throw yellow on it.
Right.
Blues look super good on it, and they're going, "Are you kidding me? That's going to look." But once they see it, it blows them away, and it's because it's a complementary color on the color wheel.
Right.
And all of that's involved with what we're doing. It's not just hurry up and throw some lines on it. I mean, it actually takes a little bit of thought.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then the stripes are like on your ride, man. It's just supposed to be just one line. I just did a Ford yesterday, a big Ford 4-wheel drive truck, and they just wanted the black and the silver, the black and the gray. Just one silver line, 1/4 inch silver line going down the side of that. The entire look of that truck with just one line.
Yeah.
You don't have to go all nuts with it, man. And I like talk more people out of stripes. Hey, I want it door jams. I want it underneath here. I want it there. Dude, they're supposed to be there to just act what's there, unless the particular car that you're doing is going to be a pinstripe car. And I call it overindulgence. A stripe. We'll throw every trick in the book on it, especially if you're at a show. Hey, I can do this. I can do that. Then you ruin it because there's too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's built like back in the Roman days. It was built for.
Right. Oh, wow. That's nice. Yeah, you talk about a 1/4 inch. My car stock, it had, I guess it was like a 3/16 stripe and maybe like an 1/8 inch below it. Or maybe a 16th. It might have been smaller, yeah.
It's probably an 1/8 and a 16th.
Maybe an 1/8 to the 16th. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, I think that's what it's kind of like standard, sort of.
Yeah.
And do that. Your car's gold, right, Ray?
Yes.
Yeah, do that in black.
Right.
That would look perfect.
Exactly.
That right there is off of a GTO.
Yeah. I reckon that's my hood.
That's so cool.
Well, actually, I think that's probably a 66 or a 7.
It is. You're right.
Yeah, I have a 65. The hoods are a little different.
What's the odds of that?
Yeah.
That belongs to a gentleman from he's in Manhattan, New York.
Oh, really?
And what a great guy he is, man. Name's Joe.
That's Ray's neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray's he's in Long Island.
Yeah, I'm just 30 miles out of Manhattan.
Yeah. Your neighbors. There's not enough people there. You'd probably know each other.
Yeah, right. Definitely not. Yeah, you never bump into walking down the street. Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, that's
I like the fades and
I love that.
Is that a pearl in there that I'm seeing?
No, it's silver.
Silver. Okay.
Blue that they painted the bottom part of that GTO. It's the same blue. I just put binder in it to kind of make it more transparent, more of a candy. But it's the exact same color. That's the thing too, is you want to try and marry colors together.
Right.
It's all part of all those colors are still a part of that car.
Uh-huh.
Wanted kind of a 70s look.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, see, now that car, those 66 and 7s had that buttressed rear window. The sail panels are a lot longer, so it makes that inlay perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect spot.
Mine are short and the window is flat, so I don't have that buttress. They started that a little later. That's a nice effect.
To tell you the truth, it turned out a little bit better than I thought.
That's a nice happy accident, huh?
You can always say that afterwards.
Right.
Well,
Where are you located, Keith?
I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. Of all places.
Hey, Keith, do you ever get over to Kindig at all?
Yeah. I just actually I just helped him just before Christmas. We did a John Lennon's Rolls Royce together.
That's right. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, and that was a fun project. Dave's a great guy. He's for all of his success and everything. He's just a super nice guy. Very cordial to everybody.
He is. I've met him. And I think we all met him on here. Super nice guy.
His shop is a well-oiled machine, man.
Yeah,
Really
sure is.
That on the show, you could tell it just the way those guys flow. I mean, the work they do is unbelievable. He actually bought a piece of my work off me. I was really excited about that.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's the truck that I seen you pull a line all the way down and never stopped with, never ran out of paint.
What's the scale factor? Now, how long is that actually in real life?
Well, that's what that is, and that's a cab extender. He's probably about 12 foot.
Wow.
Yeah, easy. Ray, when I tell you he ran down the side of it and never ran out of paint.
Wow. The never-ending brush.
Yeah, I was amazed.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of good brushes out there now. I mean, compared to when I started, that was like I said, 42 years ago. I started out as a sign painter, and pinstriping was just something to add
Flavor.
to the sign, yeah. And then, of course, hot rods and dragsters. And
I got a piece of work here.
Yeah, beautiful. So you were saying before we got on that you're really enjoying doing the semis, huh?
no, I would rather do a truck than anything. That's oh, that one there. That's Alaska. That's about 42 foot long. It was all gold leaf. That thing was huge.
I love gold leaf.
Anything big, I like doing that. But that's a lot of gold leaf on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot right there in front of you there.
So you're using that stick as a guide to guide your hand or steady you, I guess?
Yeah, that's called a maul stick,
Okay.
and it's an old sign painter's. Everyone. Okay, so when I started, there was no computer, no cell phones, and everything was hand lettered. All the freeway billboards, all the grocery stores, all the doctors' off, everything was lettered before vinyl. And you could always tell a good sign painter because he'd come in with a paint box, and that maul stick was just part of the equipment.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It actually helps steady your hand, yeah, but for bigger jobs like that, it keeps my hands off the, so I'm not sticking my finger.
Well,
Damn, you're as old as we are.
let me tell you what I did with one day. I'm painting using the stick and drug the stick through the paint. So that's why I hate paint.
Yeah, there's different. Primarily I've used one shot my whole career, but there are some urethane paints out there now that are just great. I love using House of Color, Tamco, Hot Hues. You use those at the rallies because they dry like instantly.
Yeah.
And
Really?
yeah, you can go right back over it, drag your fingers right through it. It's already dry. And it's great because they don't smear it when they get on the bike and go, enamels take a little bit longer to dry, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
But paint's come a long way too.
Keith, did you ever try using the Alpha enamel?
Which one?
The Alpha enamel out of Michigan.
Alpha? Yeah. Yeah, Alpha's good too. To me, it's like enamel's enamel.
Yeah.
And urethane's urethane.
Yeah.
So I've always said this. When my customer comes in, and they want a certain job done, then it's up to me to discern how I'm going to do it. So if it's going to be a situation where urethane is going to be a better outcome and or enamel is going to be a better outcome, then I'm going to use whatever I need to use to come out with the best outcome.
Right.
Right? I mean, it's a tool. Paint is a tool. I don't mean it in a bad way.
Now, is this a 65 Impala?
No, it's earlier.
Is it?
That's like a 63
Yeah, that's a 60.
or a 4.
Yeah, probably 64. My screen's super little, so I gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do a lot of lowriders out here too.
You know, that we were just looking at it for the last 5 minutes, and now it's off. But that striping work, it hit me right away. It reminded me of a schematic. It looked like a piece of an engineering, like a piece of a schematic. It's just like the preciseness in the lines. That is so nice.
Yeah, it is.
And that's part of being a striper too. If your symmetry isn't the same on both sides, that always blows people away. Like, how do you know what you did on the other side? But on a hood, something like that, you always do, or at least I do. I always do the left side first. I'll go to the right side because with my eye I can see the left side. If I did the right side first, I cover it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a little trick.
I got to remember that one.
Old timer trick.
Yeah.
Right.
That little one-shot mural on the back of a fur pack of a Harley.
Those feathers are now. I learned that from hanging around with tattoo guys. It's like you want to really see something and judge a guy. Look at feathers, eyes. Certain little detail things, and yeah, those are real nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the wolf, yeah, beautiful.
Well, when I grow up, I want to have something done like this.
So, let me ask you guys, in the mechanic world, some guys, not all, they tend to collect like ratchets or wrenches or screwdrivers, and have I know guys that have 60, 70 different ratchets. It's like, damn, how many do you need? What do you guys do? Both of you Keiths, what are your thoughts as far as striping brushes are concerned? Are you guys minimalists or maximalists when it comes to the amount of brushes that you own?
Go ahead, Keith.
I have quite a few brushes, and sometimes you buy them not knowing how it's going to work.
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of brushes that are just sitting there that I don't really like, just because maybe it's because I'm not using it right, but I'll find another use for it and maybe use it for something else. Like my portraits that I use, scrolling, I'm not a scroller, but that every one of my portraits that I've been doing, I use a scrolling brush. So that's what I use my scrolling brushes on.
Well, I can see like anything else. You buy brushes because they're tools, and maybe they don't work out, they don't feel right. And now you're not going to use them. It's a good enough. I mean, and even like with the guys with the ratchets, we all have our favorites. The go-tos.
Yeah,
and I'm sure both of you guys do too. So Keith, number 2, are you a minimalist or a maximalist?
No, I got mountains.
Yep. Okay.
Mountains. Like, I'm kind of fortunate because I've been around for a long time. So some brush companies, a lot of brush companies will send me brushes.
Yeah.
Hey, to try this out and check it out. Give us a real critique on the brush, but I do have, when you said go-to, I do have go-to brushes, which is really stupid because they're in the pile, and I got to dig through the pile every day to try to find that brush.
Yeah.
And some days I can find it, and then I'm thinking, man, and I ruin a lot of brushes. I'll like using urethane or something like that, or the phone rings and I got to talk to a customer. Someone else comes in the door. I've left that job I was working on for about 2 hours to come back and brushes talk.
Yeah, and they're not cheap. They are not cheap. They're small, but they're expensive. I know.
Same thing with wrenches, though. I mean, you want good work, then use the best tools.
Right.
I can refurbish like dried out brush. I got a way to clean them up so they're brand new because but yeah, I have mountains of them.
Right.
Hey, Keith, what's your favorite dagger brush? You have a specific?
I don't want to get in trouble here, but
yeah, I know that's why I was kind of hesitant on asking.
We're alive.
Well, I know.
You can send me an email if you want.
Well, I'll tell you this. Damn near all brushes or dagger brushes and swords are made from are made at Mac. And then what you do, like if I had a Keith Eccles brush, then Mac would make them for me to my specification. But the good old green and black wraps are some of my favorite to this day. And then you come up with my scrolling brushes. I got a ton of scrolling brushes, but I still use my own. I'll get a number 6 lettering quill, and I'll get a razor blade, and I'll get oil on the brush, and I'll cut around the neck of it, and I'll start pulling all the hair off of it until it's a nice, fine, long point. And those are still the best scrolling brushes I use to this day. Mondego is a very good friend of mine. I use a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
I like the Todd Hansons as well. I really like the Dragonflies, the Turner brushes. Steve Chizenka, Wizard, he's got those Black Widows that are super good.
Yeah.
Steve's here in our town too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's not too far from us, and Guy Shively.
He's amazing, that guy.
Yeah, they're our neighbors, basically.
Yeah, yep.
You got a lot of famous people out there.
Yeah, we do. It's a tough business. I picked the wrong hobby to get into.
Yeah. There's nobody out here with me. It's like, I mean, there's a few stripers out here, but nobody, everybody, Salt Lake City, Jesus, all that's out there are Mormon cows, like this is a huge ass town. It's also one of the biggest trucking firms in the United States. Oh yeah, it's at Crossroads. My shop is literally at I-80 and I-15 Crossroads.
Yeah.
You have to go through here if you're going to LA or really hours any direction. You're in a huge. You got to go through.
How long have you been in Salt Lake City, Keith?
Well, I met my wife here at a car show. That's 1 or 2 years ago. I've been here since.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was born in Denver, Colorado.
Ah, nice.
But
I just had a car in my driveway yesterday that was bought on Colfax Avenue outside of Denver in Aurora. It was my sister's old car. She used to live out there. Now a friend of mine owns it. He's owned it for a number of years, and went through. He restored it, sold it to his brother. His brother kicked it around a bit, then parked it, and then he passed away. So my buddy got it back from his sister-in-law, and now he's driving it again. So it's yeah, just had a piece of Colorado in the driveway.
wow.
Okay, it's 9:30, so I'm gonna get the fellas that are usual guys that hang out with us, and they can ask you some questions, or they can come on and tell lies with us.
There's my man. There's Matko, man.
Hey, Keith. Both Keiths, how y'all doing?
Good, man.
Good.
Sorry, I got to get close to.
Papa Sport, you want on?
And I did have a couple questions. I enjoy watching you guys do what you do. I wish I had more patience, and unfortunately, I drink way too much coffee. So, if you want a scratchy line, I'm probably really good at that. But did you have any influence? I mean, you said you started out being a paint signer, a sign painter. But did you have any kind of influence to get you into the cars or trucks or automobiles, or was that just you stumbled across and ran with it?
Oh no, I've had plenty. I knew Ed Roth for a little while. And when I was growing up, I'm 65 years old. So when I was growing up, he had models and all this other stuff, and I got when I was in California, I got to kind of mess a little bit with know him, but there's that's because once I knows Gary Stoll is, and it's before social media and all this stuff. It was Idaho here, and he was one of the best strikers, guys I've ever met in my life. And he was super influential in making me go on this career. Also, there was a couple of signs, lettering. So, yeah, I did unsung heroes for these guys. I mean, there's Big Daddy Rat, Von Dutch, Von, Tom. I mean, people, are pretty famous in California.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of guys out there that are just amazing. Nobody ever knew about.
Is anybody else hearing Keith break up, or is it just me?
No, it's
he comes and goes. You're unfortunately you're coming and going on your volume there.
Well, if your audio is a little scratchy too, by the way, just not as bad.
Yeah, yours is the same way, Lewis.
Okay, good. So just want to know it's not me. Okay.
No, but it's just awesome. I got to meet Ed Roth one time. I was at a World of Wheels, and we were there, and it was the funniest thing because he was sitting over in a corner, and I was like, I told my buddy, I said, "Man, that's Big Daddy," and he goes, "That's not the drag racer." And I said, no, that's Ed Roth. And he goes, "Who?" And I was like, never mind. So I went over and I was like, "Hey, I'm, honored to meet you and blah, blah, blah." And I still can't find it to this day. It drives me crazy because I know I have it in my collection here. But he pulled out his little box and pulled out a 4x3 10 sheet, and he doodled up a pinstripe thing and handed it to me and told me he had a great day. And that was just that was like one of those moments that and of course that's before cell phones and everything else. It's like, man, it's like one of those things that you tell somebody that and they're like, yeah, right, whatever, but it's just awesome. And like I said, I love what you do. I just wish I had the patience to even try, but who knows?
It's funny. You guys talk about sign painting, like literally signs. This is kind of like the only piece of artwork I've ever had my hands in. I didn't do the whole thing. I only got to do part of the pinstriping, but it's Steel Street signs, and they make great platforms to work on.
As long as you don't get arrested getting
I know. Late at night, in the dark, hit and run. You want to make sure you get the ones without the security bolts on them.
Yeah, get away from the camera.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah, I tell you, there's a lot of talented artists, like you said, pinstriping.
Oh yeah.
And I'm glad that the art didn't fade away because it almost tried to with the vinyl signs and the computers. But I'm glad you weathered the storm.
Well, the thing with me is it's the only thing I knew how to do. So I just kind of stuck to it, not like knowing that it was a dying art. That's all I know how to do. So
Had to eat.
Yeah.
yeah, they were talking about Big Daddy. There were two of them. There's one in Florida and one in L.A.
Oh,
There's
really?
a Big Daddy rat in Florida as well.
Oh.
Different guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys knew him.
No.
No.
Probably just good.
No.
He must have been good if he got away with using the name, because you can't just move in like that on someone's territory and get away with it.
Yeah, gone now, but they were both. Again, that was before. Yeah,
Yeah.
you only knew the people in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, the internet's opened up the world, really.
Oh, it sure has.
A little too much.
Yeah. In a lot of cases, you're right. Very true.
The only thing I like about is when we were before internet, you used to have a library in your shop because you'd need reference.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone comes in, they go, "Hey, I want a Chinese tiger on the side of my gas tank." Then we'd steal a lot of books from the library, our library here at the shop. And then, but what I love about the internet now is you can just Google Chinese tiger and blam, you got 100 of them,
Yeah.
reference. That's cool.
It almost reminds me of like a tattoo parlor or shop, where you just have your books. And like I said, if I came in and said, "Hey, I want something on the side of my car," and I guess you tell me to go look at the books if I didn't have an idea.
I mean, now that so many people, I design my tattoos, but a lot of people go in, they look at the flash, and they just pick what they like. I mean, if you like traditional, you like Japanese, it's and when you see it all out there, it makes it, a little easier because you don't have to. I actually sat there and designed it. I wasn't going to go for anything pre-made, but yeah, tattoo flash is cool, and guys take that with them. That's sacred property. If you have your own flash. Yeah.
That was it. Tattoo shop and go, I'll have number 26.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like ordering Chinese food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keith, when you were talking about the spectrum of colors, is that just like is that kind of like a rainbow of colors that you compare to when you have a color, or is it just an idea? Where if I came in with a purple car and tell you to put a stripe on it, what gives you the basics, or where do you go from? Is that just gut instinct or your talent of that?
The other Keith just got it. That's where you go there.
Right there.
Okay.
It's called a color wheel.
So if he points at a color on top of that wheel, go directly below it, and that's a complementary color that would fit to go perfect on your car.
I see.
They've already figured it out. That's where it comes from right there.
And guys like Keith don't need to look at this.
Here, it's now it's like,
I could see getting the 64 pack Crayola Crown set out and see where that all lines out, but I don't know if I have a little bit of too much of granddad's cough syrup and I start saying, I think this color will go good with it, but I don't know if that actually works.
Brian, you just got to fess up, face it. As long as it's Wimbledon white with that ice blue stripe, you're good.
Yeah, well, I know I can't walk away from the blue car anyway, or
That's
the
all
white.
you need to see. That's right. And like I said, with tools, we all have our favorites, our favorite tools. We have, go-to colors. Like we're just kind of programmed that way to like certain shades and things, and
creatures of habit.
Yeah.
As far as colors and everything.
Like it speaks to you. Certain things make you feel more comfortable, or and we gravitate towards it. And
well, it's like that's the same thing with scroll work. I can tell you who pretty much cross country who does what just by looking at it because we all have style.
Mhm.
Right.
And I've done this one certain scroll. I can't tell you. There's out here Dick Simon Trucking, and I worked for Dick Simon Trucking I did all his fleet for probably about close to 30 years. Did for 3,000 trucks for it.
Wow.
And I did the same scroll on every single truck. Got that, like, and but everyone here, they go, "Oh, I can tell that's yours."
Right.
A little bit of practice, huh?
Yeah. A lot of practice.
So, what's the smallest thing that you've pinstriped?
Penny.
A penny.
Yeah. Why would you want a penny pinstriped? I don't know, but
Yeah.
but
We were talking about it a few weeks ago. I have a friend who was another amateur pinstriper, but he started pinstriping Matchbox cars.
yeah,
I mean, he didn't start doing that. He ended up getting to that point, and it was pretty damn cool. You know?
Yeah, that's. I did a poker chip, but I did with a lot of design myself. That my grandson gave me a Hot Wheel car, and says, "Papa, can you pinstripe this for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah." It took a while, but it was like you said, it's pretty cool looking if you got the right color and
Right.
the right vehicle to put it on.
I gotta step out. I gotta grab a charger real quick before I lose you guys
Okay.
Okay.
in the other office.
All right, we'll be here. Yeah, everybody, if you can go check him out on Facebook, he has all his pictures on there. Pretty sweet stuff.
Yeah, he's amazing. I told him I thought he was a good dude just because of his name. That's how we met.
Eccles is a great name. It really is.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
So Keith,
Yes, sir.
I think Peaches need a couple stripes put on her. What do you think?
Yeah.
We could do that to Peaches.
When you want to do it?
Just well, let me see. Next weekend's shot. In the next couple of weeks, we could do it. When you're all done with her.
Well, you got to get your ignition module box thing first. So
Yeah, it's in the mail
over there.
Yeah,
Oh, did you find one?
Yeah, I found a guy in one of the groups. He had one laying around, so he sent it to me. So it's in the mail now. I'm waiting on it.
Good.
So I figured I'd paint the box. I painted the box yesterday and cleared it, and so I started wet sanding it today. And then I'm thinking, I was like, man, I think I need to throw some stripes on it. So Keith, you're gonna be my man.
Okay.
I don't know what colors. What do you think? Where's your chart?
Well, the magic chart says, well, you know what? Something on that. Being that it's like a gold color.
I mean, you can't go wrong with black, obviously.
Hold on.
Well, you got black, or you got like creams or browns.
The creams and bright, yes.
Yeah, like an ivory and black would look that'll look pretty cool on her, I think.
To give you an idea, when I had my Super Glide, I painted it House of Colors. I forget what they called that color, but I called it Needix Grape Soda Purple because it really looked like Needix Grape Soda. And then did Aztec Gold Flames on it.
That'd be nice.
I said, wow, what are we going to pinstripe this with? Because those colors just popped. And I just tried to go with a simple black pinstripe on that, just to break. Because I did a couple of crossed flames and layovers and just kind of kept it simple. And I was thinking, put some lime green on there, and that's why I started thinking about those other colors, but just stuck with the simple black and let the other colors do the talking.
And what's cool is with the paints that we use, you could put a couple lines on something, and if someone's really against it, you just wipe it off.
Right.
Or a lot of times you can put like Scotch tape on the vehicle and do it right on the tape. It's translucent, so you can see behind it. If they like it, and pop it off.
Right.
But the big things now out there, you got that ceramic coating on these vehicles
Yeah.
You can't put nothing on it.
Right.
I don't know if they got anything out there yet to cut it.
You had to get the new Matco green tire wheel buffer.
Oh yeah.
They say they I watched the video. The guy say this will take off anything.
Yeah.
I can
It'll
see it
take it
now.
off all right.
Snatch the paint off.
Any more than I ask before they say, hey, can you do this? I go, yeah, but is that ceramic coated? If they say, yeah, I just walk away. It's not worth the hassle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that stuff.
Are you able to get around it, Keith, or or you just tell them no thanks?
You know what will get it off is ammonia.
Wow.
I mean, it'll knock your ass out, but
Oh yeah.
But a little bit of ammonia and some water. But then you're going to all their ceramic coating that they spend all this money on.
Right.
Stick to it. You put something on it, they'll be back in a month, and all your stuff fell off.
Right.
It's a cool thing for your car. Makes it look really great, but not friendly to a painter at all.
Yeah.
And so that ceramic, I mean, that's like, I don't want to use the word forever, but I mean, there is no breakdown in that over a period of time.
It's like 10, 15 years on some of it.
Really?
And you can pay up to $2,000 a vehicle to get it done, if not more.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. I mean, you could pinstripe on a wrap better than anything like that.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, you can stripe it before.
Right.
Ceramic coated. That's fine.
Yeah.
But
so that's one of those things that you should think about before you do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was because we have like ceramic coating stuff for like doing the toolbox. When you clean your toolbox and spray it down and so forth. And I haven't done mine, but like I said, I don't want to. If I've got a guy on my route that's a striper, and I want him to do the door to my locker, but I guess I shouldn't do anything and have him do that first.
Yeah. Yep.
Even vinyl won't stick to it.
Wow.
You put
he wants to go a little crazy, and I want to just be traditional, old school, straightforward, and that's where we're at our head. That's where we're at our point about why I haven't had it done yet.
Well, but, I think you got to go to that old dictum of the customer's always right.
Yeah, well, I'm, me, Ray. I'm kind of.
Well, I'm saying, it's your product. You got to look at it every day. He doesn't, so you should get what you want.
Yeah, I know, but I understand where he's coming from also, because you can't use the terminology. You have free reign, and then I tell you what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. Are you turning liberal on us now all of a sudden?
No, I'm not. No, but I just
did you drink something? Was there some Kool-Aid out there that you drinking in a nice cold glass?
No, my coffee is a little strong tonight. So
I got to keep an eye on my friends. You got to watch these guys. You never know what they're going to pull on you. You got to watch them, and you got to pull them back. You got to pull them back if they start slipping.
I can't walk in and say, "Okay, Keith, do what you want," but by the way, you got to stay within these rules.
No, then I think you walk in and you say, "Hey, I came here because I want to use your service. I trust you. I like your work. This is what I want."
Yeah,
that actually happens a lot.
Yeah,
or they'll bring me something and you got free reign, but this is what I want.
See, that's when I hear that tells me I understand it's a double-sided thing. You could say I give you free reign because what that means is I trust your ability. I know you'll do something amazing. But on the other hand, if I think people can say that and have some creativity in them and just know what the realm of creativity is, what the borders are. But I've heard too many people say it who didn't have an ounce of creativity in their body, and they just felt, you make up my mind for me. And then all they do is bitch about it afterwards because, that's not what I wanted. Well, that's not what you said.
Yeah.
So, you got to know the customer a little bit, I guess. You got to dig into their psyche. Brian knows what he wants. He just maybe wants a little extra, a little flair, but
Hmm.
he
Yeah,
doesn't trust his own creativity. I know him. He doesn't trust his own
That's-
creativity. That's
why nothing gets done.
Well, we all set our own. We'll have our own roadblocks in life. Yes, absolutely.
Well, with customers, you definitely have to. You got to really open up. I've seen a few stripers out there in my career where if they won't let you, if the customer won't let you just do what you want to do, then they won't do it. But if
Wow.
you're for a living for 42 years, and you got to have some kind of finesse with the customer and some kind of customer relation
Mhm.
and talk it through. And then, I can do this and I can't do that, but we can add this, but I'd rather keep that out.
Did you start, Keith, when you were about 23? Was that about when you started doing this?
Well,
I did the math quick, so you threw out numbers and I subtracted.
the first car I ever striped was in Mobile, Alabama.
Uh-huh.
And I was 18 then.
All right.
So, but it wasn't I didn't think it'd be sign painting was a career. I thought it was a noble job because there's going to be signs till I'm dead.
Right.
So, job forever.
So that was around 75.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure was. That's 75 is 75 is the year I graduated high school.
Right. I'm a year behind you.
Yeah. And then I kind of went out and I was going to be the world's greatest artist. And that didn't go so good. So, yeah, I'm still doing it. I was going to retire when I was 30 years old. That didn't work so good either.
Mhm.
Great career and a great life.
Yeah.
I got a great family.
I just started doing this a little less than 10 years ago. I'm 60, and I didn't start till I was about 51, 52 years old.
Yeah.
And-
That's amazing in itself.
And the people that I've met, I mean, all you guys, if it wasn't for my pinstriping, I wouldn't have met any of you guys. And I
If it
just,
wasn't for Lewis is the man who brought you to us.
Lewis and I, how did we even, we got together something with the bikes.
Yeah, we were at Quaker State. I brought Lou Santiago up there.
Yep. And we started talking and BSing. And the next thing you know, I'll never forget it for as long as I live, because it was the funniest thing that ever happened to me. Lewis and I were in a store. I go, "Hey, Lewis, how you doing?" I mean, we only met 2 or 3 times tops before that.
Yep.
And we start talking, and he goes, "I'm getting ready to go to SEMA." And I'm like, "Man, I would love to go there." He goes, "You want to go?" And I'm like, "What?" So my wife was there. I says, "Hey, can I go to Vegas?" And she's like, "I don't care."
It was on.
Next thing you know,
We got an Airbnb.
yeah, it was on like Donkey Kong. I mean, it was unbelievable, and I forever in your debt as far as getting SEMA.
Oh, no.
It
Hey,
was absolutely amazing.
I think every man needs to go at least once.
It was amazing. And you know what's cool? I got asked to do a helmet that's going to be at SEMA this year, so that's really cool.
Yep.
So I'm really excited about that.
What's worse, helmets or gas tanks?
You're doing a helmet?
I'm sorry, what's that, Keith?
You're doing a helmet?
Yep, it's. Let me show it. I hate these helmets.
How
You
did
know,
helmets
I
got
would
me
love to
freaked
wear
out?
one, but they're not DOT approved.
What? It's a baseball helmet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm getting those too.
So
I would wear one, but they're not DOT approved.
No,
I want to
they're
keep my head intact.
yeah, there's not much in there's no liner in this one. I just got the shell.
Yeah.
You would
So
think that company would make them where they're strong enough to be DOT approved.
Or
I-
be like some of the companies that sell them here in New York, where they sell you the helmet and on the side they give you a little sticker that says DOT,
Oh.
and you just stick it on the back.
No,
I'm
I
not
need
saying
my,
where, but
I need my head to be intact.
yeah,
Yeah, this one's. I mean, the reason they made this one is to keep it the low profile, to make it look as much like a baseball cap as possible, but still have a tad of protection.
so that is an actual motorcycle helmet sold as
Yeah.
a motorcycle helmet.
Yeah, well, it's sold as a novelty helmet.
A novelty helmet, right? Okay.
Yeah, they state that on their website and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Mike's Pro Lids. I'm not a fan of them, but this is again, this is a huge honor for me to be asked to do this. So I'm like,
it's a look, you know.
I just don't know what I'm nervous as all get out to do this. So
It's going to be at Jack's booth, right?
pardon me.
It's going to be at Jack's.
It's going to be at
Truly.
Car Rep.
Oh,
What's
Yeah.
the theme?
The company that does the clear. They're going to have. That's where the display is going to be.
What's the theme of the paint job going to be? What are you laying down on there?
Well, I'm doing it in my style as far as my portraits and that go.
Okay.
I have an idea of what I want to do, but I'm not sure yet. I'm just I don't know, and it's going to be small.
You're overthinking it.
It's going to be small. That's why when I did that last guitar, that was small, and that was huge practice for me for this helmet. So I never did anything that small before with that many lines. So
just have a couple shots of Granddad's cough syrup and just let it flow.
Why don't you emulate Billy Gibbons' pineapple kind of thing hat, but in paint?
it's hard. It's hard to come up with.
I know.
The artists that they got selected for this, I think there's like 25 or 30 artists
Really?
from all over the world. It is absolutely insane. And just to be considered to do this is just beyond belief. I mean, I look at it and laugh because it's like, holy crap, I can't believe they asked me. So,
Yeah.
Well, why not? They sent me one too.
well, I understand why you got one.
No, don't ever discount yourself, Keith.
Yep.
Well,
We all got to start somewhere, and we all move up as we do. And I mean, and you know what? Us artists, we're never ever satisfied with what we do.
yeah.
When we're doing it, it's like, man, this is going to be the greatest thing ever seen everywhere. And then when you're all done and you go, man, that didn't turn out quite like I wanted.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
Well, I'm doing a portrait right now of a young lady that I actually know. And this is the first portrait I'm doing of someone that's alive and that I know.
Oh,
So I keep asking her, I go, what do you think? What do you think? And
No, you
she's like,
can't. I'll tell you something. As an outsider to your work, I don't think you can judge your work until it's done. You can't do it while you're doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
Well-
you can see it. I've watched this stuff progress, and you can see the progression, but it doesn't really hit you until it's finished.
well, what I
Yeah.
did with this one, since I did her face first, because if I screw up the face, the rest of it doesn't matter.
I agree.
So her face is almost completed. And I did post a picture tonight. So if you get an opportunity to look at it, she's gorgeous. I'm excited.
I was going to say, art like music are two things where you're never really happy with what you do. You think it could always be better. But I do that even with mechanical stuff when I fabricate things and even stupid little brackets or little components. I always look back and say, let me look at it from this angle or that angle, or you go away and you come back the next day and you go, that's crap. Who the hell did that? And
yeah.
do it again. And people say it's just
I've walked away and come back days later, sometimes weeks.
Yeah. So you can do that with anything that is of a creative nature. It's because you're your own worst critic. We all are.
Yeah.
And it just, the thing is not to let it roadblock you so you don't do any. I've seen plenty of people with art and music and with cars and motorcycle work where they hit that roadblock and they close the garage door and then they'll leave it for a couple months. Next thing you know, everything, there's cobwebs, and then it's like now it's an ancient project. and you can't let it beat you. You got to go out and beat it.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, it's interesting too when they bring it back. Like, hey, dude, do you remember me? You striped my car in 1982. I go, oh, dude, I don't remember you.
Yeah,
Then bring their car in, and it's like, dude, I remember that.
right.
And hey, that don't look too bad because I haven't seen it since that long. But when I
Right.
probably hated it.
Yeah, well, that's good because you get to see your old work resurface again. So that's interesting.
Oh yeah, it's there. As a matter of fact, there's a graveyard, I call it here, of old Peterbilt cab overs and old Kenworths, and they're all out in the field. And it's so cool for me to go out there because I did a lot of those trucks
Oh yeah.
along with the guy that taught me, Gary Scholl, a lot of this stuff. And to walk out there and say that, I'm outliving some of my work is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
That is cool.
Yeah,
Very neat.
That would be a great book to put together of your old work on those trucks.
yeah.
Well, they call them, some of the signs on the buildings that we did, they're super faded out, and they call them ghost signs
Right.
because they're still there, but they've just been there for years and years and years.
And they look so cool. They really do.
Yep.
I'm pretty lucky to have the career that I've had. I've seen an awful lot of changes going on, though. Oh man, the way it was and the way it is. Well, we have in the whole world.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the most extreme change you've seen?
Well, probably when the plotter first came out, a vinyl plotter.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It was so funny because everybody wanted vinyl because look at how sharp it is. Look at how clean it is. Oh my God. And then if you're doing a bunch of fleet trucks or whatever, and all the logos have to be the same, it was definitely the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that bothered me about it is it literally killed the sign writers in the country. All the timers that taught me, they just retired and talk about the lost art. Hand sign writing is a thing of the past. There's still quite a few of us still doing it. So now, fast forward 35 years, now people who were born 35 years ago, they never seen somebody actually hand letter something.
Mm-hmm.
And they see it now going, holy shit, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Well, how the hell you do that? How'd you learn that? Like, dude, this is how it was done.
Yeah.
And so I think, and now we're having another switch where everybody's seen vinyl, large format printing, vinyl cut letters. Now all of a sudden, if you can find somebody that's super good at hand lettering, and there's quite a few out there, well, at least on Facebook, then they want that. I mean, I'm doing more hand lettering right now on trucks than I have in years because it has soul.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You can tell it's hand done, and it just looks cool.
Yeah, just that little flaw or just that brush stroke that you can still see in that letter. It like you said, it's soul. It gives a character. It's neat. I agree 100%.
So that's kind of the transitions that I've seen that, and it really bums me out too, where I will, I'll go ahead and do, let's see, I'll like teach people how to pinstripe, they One Shot sponsors me and they'll send me out and do classes, here and there. And to watch someone like Keith or myself stripe something, it looks really easy. Like I thought the exact same thing when I first seen it, like, oh shit, I could do that easy. but then you try it, and you can't figure out why you can't get it.
Right.
And it's very difficult. And then when I tell some of these young guys, I go, it's probably going to be about 3 years before you can actually stripe a car. Then they're not interested.
Instant gratification.
Taking
They're
3,
looking for.
that kind of bums me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's society. Yeah. It's instant gratification.
Yeah. The first car I ever pinstriped was mine, and it was terrible. And I was doing stuff on canvas, and I was at a car show, and I was inside, and I'll never forget this guy come up to me. He goes, "Do you pinstripe cars?" I says, "Just mine." I says, I've never done anyone else's. And he turned around and walked away. Well, then this bigger guy came in. He goes, "You pinstripe cars?" I says, "Just mine." He goes, "You're the one I want." And I'm like, he goes, "I don't want it perfect." I says, "Well, then you got the right guy."
Got the right guy.
So I went out there, and I had all my paints. I had everything with me, and why I brought them, I don't know. And I did his. It was a '59 Ford Ranchero that had a patina paint job on it, but there was no rust, nothing, and it had a matte finish clear on it. And I went out there and I did I'm sitting there and I'm doing it on the top of the fender. And I could feel people behind me, and I spun around. I swear to you, there had to be 100 people watching me.
Whoa. No pressure.
And I'm like, I'm filling my pants. I mean, I was like, oh my God. So I did both fenders in his tailgate, and he paid me. And him and I have been friends since that day, and I've done more work for him since then.
Oh, nice.
And I thank him every time I see him online for having the balls to ask me to do his car. And for me to have the balls to do it. He says he popped my cherry for doing someone else's car.
Right.
I was like, "Dude, I don't know, man." And he goes, "I want you to."
Have you ever been to a show and someone's breathing down your neck? I mean, literally breathing
Oh,
down.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was I'm sorry. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, so that's the only time it bothers me at a show. When we're striping at rallies and shows, man, it's like a bar fight going on, man. Everyone's all crowded around, and what's going on over there? People love to watch. I say I'm a human fishbowl. It's like going into the doctor's office and you just stare at the fish tank, waiting to go get the situation taken care of. I could watch this all day long.
Oh, we were at Crazy Paint one time, and I'm doing this panel, and I happen to be sitting right by where the people are, and I'm sitting there, and I'm up close, and I'm pulling some lines, and I could feel something. I mean, right here, and I went, and it was this old dude. I didn't kiss him, but I made the sound. He stepped back, and his son was there, and his son started laughing. He goes, "Dad, you can't get that close." I go, "I don't care." I says, "That's fine." I says, "Just don't blow in my ear anymore." Other than that, he was like right here. And I was like, what the heck? It was funny.
We do that. Another pinstriper, really super talented, is Bugs. He's out of Phoenix, Arizona, Bugs. And him and I are very dear friends. We've worked Sturgis together for a few years, and we do that all the time when we're at a rally. I'll lean real close right into his ear, and I go, "You're so good." And then he'll do the same thing, because people do that. They're just literally right here.
Oh, I'll see Guy Shively at a show, and as he's striping, I'll get up close to him. I go, "Is that a sticker?" and people, and his wife is there. I know his wife, and she'll act like she's upset, and people don't know that I know them, and it's quite funny.
Yeah.
I got on my truck, it says Keith Eccles pinstriping lettering. I'll stop and get gas, then inevitably someone goes, "Hey dude, do you go do you do pinstriping? Every time. No, I put it on the truck, just,
Yep.
That's crazy.
A lot of people ask me too, they go, can you really make a living doing pinstriping? It's a great, I don't know of any way make the kind of money I make that fast. It is awesome occupation. You work when you want.
You guys that do this for a living, I'm in total awe of you guys, and I envy you guys very much. And I know you guys put your dues in, 42 years, and I just wish I would have started sooner. That's my only regret.
See, I'm the same way with leather. I started doing leather about 10 years ago, and I wish I would have started when I was younger because it's so stress relief. Did I say that right? It's a stress reliever. And man, I could have saved a lot of stress and a lot of beating up people. Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely meditation. I mean, anything is. Like a mechanic, when you're wrenching on something,
Right.
and you're good at it, you know what you're doing, you go in the zone. You just disappear in the zone. And
Yep.
4 hours gone by and you don't even know what happened. Yeah, it's definitely meditation for sure. It's true with anything you love.
Yeah.
Anything you love with, and this job here that I got, I'd say it's a good 80% passion.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the money's good too, but you can't do things that you hate. I know a lot of people with jobs that they hate. They make good money, but they dread going to work every day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bad feeling.
I dread going to work every day too because I'm so goddamn busy, and I'm old. That's all. I love what I do.
Yeah. When I retire, I think I'm gonna pull a trailer behind the bus with all my leather stuff in it, and just make stuff. You know what I mean? If I sell it, cool. If not, I got a whole bunch of other stuff to play with.
It's interesting. I was just talking to it's either my wife or one of my daughters, and they're all career people. They all make good money working for the man, but they're going, it'd be so cool to have a skill like I have, and you can work whenever you want and make as much as you want. And I think there's a big lack of skill workers in the country right now, because it's a passion when you have a skill and you get good at it because of your passion. And it is. I mean, I don't know, because I'm from another generation. I don't understand. Everybody I know works in a cubicle in front of a computer, and that's not for me. I guess it'd be a skill for me because I don't know how to do it. I'm using a cell phone right now.
I didn't know how to do it either, but I'm doing it.
I wish I was better at it.
No, but to your point, Keith, everybody, the people in this world who are on a positive track are always going to learn. They're always going to grow, even if it's inconsequential things. You're just picking something up that it doesn't have to be world earth shattering. It just has to be, you have to be going in a positive direction.
Yeah.
And there's not enough of that anymore. Nobody free thinks anymore. Everything is just, they get it off the internet. They hear it on Facebook, and nobody thinks to question things anymore. We grew up questioning everything. I'm always, it's funny, my daughter just got a job at a PR company, and that's their motto, which is cool because they're all younger. So I'm glad to see she's in an environment like that. But question everything, and not in a nasty way, in an inquisitive way. You know what? I don't understand what you were talking about. Explain that to me. Let me, let me learn a little bit.
And it's interesting you say that because, like for me and my wife, when I just want to be. I don't understand. So I just want to be clear. They get pissed off. And like, ask questions.
Yeah.
Like, clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not very good.
Well, fellas, I have to jump ship.
Yeah, same here. That's what I was just typing in.
Everybody in the pool.
But Keith,
Everybody out of the pool.
I
So
gotta go.
Brian's learned to question everything too. He's always questioning his customers like, when are you going to pay me? Why haven't you paid me? Where are you going to be when you pay me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Keith, hey, I really appreciate
your ass. I'm sorry, Louis.
No, you're good. I really appreciate you coming on, man, and I always enjoy talking to you. Like when we see each other at a show and stuff, I look for you. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
Keith, it was
having you on, Keith. It was great.
It was awesome.
Real honor to talk to you again, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Don't
Now,
call,
Keith,
appreciate
don't
your
call
work.
me sir.
Hey, Keith. You know.
So Keith, listen. Ray stays on. He does the after show, so you're welcome to stay on and chat with the fellas. But I have an early start in the morning, so I got to go to bed like a little.
That'll
kid.
be all over soon, Louis.
Yeah.
I'm going to be rolling out too, guys.
We'll be sleeping late. All right, Keith. It was good seeing you too. I haven't seen you in a while. It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw the picture of Monica. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Excellent.
Okay, Keith. Stay in touch, and everybody, I'll see you next week.
All right,
sounds great. Let's take care. Be safe.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.